800-951-0592. Gold is at the highs right now, up 22, 1992. By the way, if you're on TV's using the June contracts now. That's 2007. All futures contracts in gold now above 2,000. Silver now seeing their futures contracts crest 25 right now. Silver at $24.17 to the ounce. $half rolls are unavailable right now, so we've taken them off the website for the time being. There's just too much demand, not enough supply. Silver prices continue to elevate here. So if you're looking to get into silver, the sooner you do it, probably the better, because all of it, silver eagles, quarters, dimes, there's limited supplies available, Jason, and it doesn't take a lot for it to disappear. One big guy comes in and buys, $3, $4, $5 million of physical silver, and all of a sudden, you don't have any left. On the gold side, $10 gold continues to still be the best way to buy right now. 20s approaching $2,500 right now. $10 pieces, they're $1,210 for a $10 half ounce. This is your old gold, right? Well, you know why you like the old gold. It's real simple. Not a more private way to own gold. You can buy it, sell it, trade it. You don't have to give out your social security number. You don't get 1099, right? You're on the honor system. There's no form to fill out. That's why we like it the best. And right now, the buy it until it changes. Buy $10 pieces. They're $1,210 at 800-951-0592. Some big developments in the commercial real estate space. And this is the thing, Jason, we kind of think this may be is this going to be the next trigger? Right? It's one of them. It's not the only one. It's just one of them. Manhattan announced the survey today, the largest amount of vacancies ever. And unfortunately, the bad news, Jason, is there's a bunch of projects getting ready to come online. It's going to get even worse in Manhattan. And then what we didn't want to see. So we had a sale in LA. This was the 40-story. It was the Union Bank Plaza Tower in downtown LA. 40-story building, 700,000 square feet. As a matter of fact, it's actually a little over 700,000 square feet. It's going to sell for around $105 to $110 million. This building was bought in 2010 for $208 million. They also spent $20 million renovating it. Jason, this is going to be more than a 50% loss. And you got to remember, these commercial real estate deals, almost all of them are done with ARMs, right? They pay interest-only ARMs. They refinance. And Jason, this company, just like we thought, said, hey, we got no takers. We're just going to give it away. And it's going to go at a bankruptcy auction at a 50% loss.
Maybe even more importantly than the property value loss is what you stated at the beginning, which is the vacancies. Because even if the property loses value, if it's commercial and you're getting lots of money from the renters, it's a paying property. If it's 200 million and now it's only 150 million, does it really matter if it's full and the renters are doing well in the building? No, obviously it doesn't work that way. Obviously, if it's doing well, the rents go up. But I remember in 2019, Joe, before the ridiculous COVID emergency came on, we were reporting all of the vacancies in Manhattan. We were doing that 4 years ago, talking about this stuff. And then here come the COVID emergency, and they get all the pension problems in Chicago and all the vacancies in Manhattan. All these things just kind of got swept under the rug for a short time, and now here it is. Now it's bubbling up again, isn't it?
The largest office landlord in Los Angeles, Brookfield, announced they are going to default on two downtown LA office towers. Get this. $754 million in loans tied to these two downtown LA office towers. I don't know. They are skyscrapers. One is the Pac Mutual building, and one is the 62-story Aon Center. $754 million. They just walked away. Just said, here you go. Take the buildings. We're done with it. And Jason, this is the problem. And if we go back and we look at the building that just sold here, the Union Bank Tower, could we see another 50% loss on these two towers? Right? I mean, all of a sudden you're like three buildings, and this is the problem. Three buildings, and all of a sudden you've lost $500 million in three buildings.
I wonder if it's the same Brookfield that builds residential properties around here where I'm at. Is that the same Brookfield?
I don't know that. I don't know that. But they are the absolute largest landlord in Los Angeles. And Jason, they just sent the keys back. And this is the problem for these banks, guys. And where does most of the commercial lending come from? 60% of the loans on commercial real estate are done by these small banks, Jason, not the big banks.
That's right. Yeah, that's an interesting piece of information. We'll see if it's the same company that I locally have been dealing with. I actually bought my house from Brookfield. I'll just say that. And
yeah, okay.
Two square miles of development going in just north of us.
My guess would be no, but you don't know, right? I mean, they're similar enough, but I don't know that answer.
2 square miles. I think there'll be a part of that they're going to be building that they just broke ground on. It'd be interesting if suddenly that just came to an end after what you just reported. This is how quickly Joe's talking about something in California. If it is the same company, it could just, that quickly suddenly stuff stops being built here in Colorado. I mean, that's how fast things, Joe, can happen when all of this stuff starts to infect each other in the market all over the world, right, Joe?
Yeah, we're going to have to watch this very, very carefully. By far, when you're talking commercial real estate, New York, LA, San Francisco, they are heavily weighted in these, but it's something where, Jason, I think it's more than just a big city problem. And we'll have to continue to watch and see how all of these losses are accounted for, because, man, 50% haircuts, I don't think anybody had that in mind. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. The $10 liberties continue to be the buy here. But every day, like this is what, the third day, fourth day in a row where prices are, but it's like $10 a day every day. $1,210, but $20 gold pieces are almost $2,500 now. So 210s, you're talking about $2,420. It's just a better value. Pick those up. Cases of Silver Eagles. I'm sorry, but $19,250. Rolls of Silver Eagles, $775. There are no half dollars, none. Quarters, $255. Dimes at $127.50 on the silver side of them. And again, all silver right now, we're just being told it's a hour by hour, day by day, hour by hour situation. So as long as we continue to have stock, we'll continue to sell it. When we don't have it, we'll just take it off. That happened today on the half dollars today. But Jason, the news here, listen, this is starting to pick up steam again. Blackstone. Here we go. So they've been facing redemptions in their REITs, for now? Months now. And the problem is the amount of redemptions keeps growing. For the fifth consecutive month in a row, Blackstone has been faced with more redemptions. And last month, get this, $4.5 billion of requested redemptions out of their commercial real estate fund. Jason, they only gave out $660 million. These guys are stuck. These are high worth guys, right? Who even knows what the minimum is to invest in this thing, right? These are millionaires and billionaires, and they said, "Hey, you know what? Hey, I want my money." And Blackstone said, you didn't read the contract too well. No, because guess what? If we give you your money, that means we've got to sell some of these buildings. And then we'd have to say, wait a minute, that's a 50% haircut. This fund is in huge trouble. It was $71 billion fund. And Jason, think about this. All this they could give back out, they'll 4.5 billion. That wasn't even 10%. 4.5 billion was requested. By the way, the month before it was 3.9 billion, and they're not giving it out. They gave out only $600 million. How broke is this really?
Yeah, I think a lot of buildings are going to be going up for sale here in the near future. That's what it's sounding like. China had a property problem last couple of years, and they sell properties before they even put people in them. And when they got way ahead of themselves, what do they do, Joe? They just knocked the buildings down. They just demolished them, right? Now, I don't think we're going to do that in America, but it's the same kind of problems. Suddenly, the first ones out are going to be the best ones. You talk about that the building in New York, 110 billion. Well, what would it be if they would have waited another year, right, Joe? Well, how much is it going to be?
You know what? I'm going to tell you, it gets worse for these people. So apparently in the contracts, Blackstone only allows for 5% redemption in a quarter. January and February, this was a February number I just gave to you. They hit the threshold of 2%. So they don't let more than 2% in a single month go by. Well, that means they've already got 4% before March. So they're already telling investors, by the way, you'll be lucky if we give you $300 million next quarter. And of course, I guarantee you the redemptions are probably going to be $5 or $6 billion, and they're going to pass out like $300 million. That's it.
Not good. Not good. Those are, I guess I'm glad I'm not in that space at this moment, I guess.
Blackstone is requesting the Fed stop raising rates. They said in their note, if the Fed continues to raise rates, the redemptions are only going to get worse. I mean, this is nonsense.
Yeah, once again, it goes back to what is the Fed's ultimate plan, Joe? And I just, I saw some articles about the end of fractional reserve lending. Obviously, that would come in with a digital currency, right? Hey, we don't need fractional reserve lending. We can get away from that scheme if we just simply had a faster, better way to do money, Joe. And then that'll just like when the Fed was created, 1907, you had the big crash and JP Morgan bailed out the markets. And it's like, America, I can't be bailing you out. You guys should wink, wink, nod, nod, figure out something. And then 6 years later, you had the Fed, right? Here we are now with interest rates going up or going sideways, or we don't know, we don't know for sure what they're going to do, Joe. Obviously with the way the system's built, they should be lowering rates to fix things the way it's set up. It doesn't fix anything, but maybe they don't, Joe. Maybe they don't. Maybe this is how they usher in their digital currency and everyone's going to be begging for it, right?
I'm going to tell you, this is a situation. You can just see it here plain as day, right? So now we're getting landlords sending keys back to office towers, skyscrapers. These things are hundreds of millions of dollars a piece. We just had a sale. It was a 50% loss. So think about these banks with these commercial real estate. Now, granted, it may not all be 50% losses, but Jason, this isn't like they're down 5%. or 10%, right? They're 20, 30, 40, up to 50% losses here. And you're going to see it. Listen, what are banks going to do? They're going to stop lending. I mean, that, right? Isn't that what they do? Hey, you know what? Nope. This is we're going to wait till this thing settles out. I mean, this is going to be a credit crunch. It seems so obvious. And of course, guess what? The Fed's still talking rate hikes. It's the perfect storm because guess what? They have no good options. They really don't. They're damned if they do. They're damned if they don't. But that's why you buy gold. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're coming right back. 800-951-0592. $10 Liberties, $1,210. I just got a new price sheet, Jason. It just hit. Assuming gold's here tomorrow. Right now, gold's $19.91, up $21. We're going to see much higher prices here. $20 Liberties will be $24.95. We're probably looking at $1,225 on $10 Libs tomorrow. So put them away while you can. $1,210 here at 800-951-0592. As we talked earlier, half dollars are unavailable. There are none. We've been shut out everywhere. All silver right now is hour by hour. Cases of silver eagles, 19,250. Rolls of silver eagles, 775. Rolls of silver quarters, 255. Rolls of silver dimes, $127.50. And again, this is just supply and demand, Jason. This is all this is. And when you start thinking about the banks are weak right now, all of a sudden, commercial real estate, which we've been worried about, we're starting to finally get some sales, and you're talking 50% haircuts. And this morning, the largest landlord in LA just turned over the keys to not one, but two mega buildings, marquee buildings in downtown Los Angeles Jason, it was almost $800 million that were borrowed on those two buildings.
Yeah, Brookfield, I looked up on one of the breaks, is a $500 billion company. Just to give you a scope, BlackRock is considered a $7 trillion company. So Brookfield's 1/14 of BlackRock. That's not nothing to sneeze at, right, Joe? It's pretty significant. And when it comes to these gold prices, Joe and I, we have our kind of our pregame huddle before the show. We'll have a call and we talk a little bit for show prep. And it's typically called the premium, the price above spot that everyone has to pay to get the gold and silver in their hands. And we just got to stop calling it the premium. We got to I think, it's the physical market versus the spot price, which is the paper market. We just got to start calling the premium above spot. We got to start calling it the real price. What is the real price above spot? And to see that a $20 Liberty is almost $2,500 with gold sitting around 2,000, Joe, is just extraordinary. And that's what we call the premium. But you know what? The real price. It's the real price. This is what the real price of gold and silver is, Joe.
Yeah, this is just it. And again, all indications are we're going to be much higher from here. The demand is unabated. The inventory levels at the COMEX in London are significantly depleted. And the problem is this is globally. Every mint in the world is buying whatever sunshine can produce. And the problem, think about this. It's not listen, our mint, they could mint 6-7 million ounces of silver in a month. Well, at least 5 or 6 million a month if they at full strength. The problem is, Jason, they can't get that many blanks.
Correct.
Because the company that's producing the blanks, they're like, listen, we're running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We don't have enough because every mint in the world is demanding product.
The U.S. Mint can mint silver eagles in San Francisco and in Philadelphia if they want. They can mint 10 million. They can mint 20 million a month. They're not going to get the silver, Joe. That's just plain and simple.
800-951-0592. Just let you know, $10 piece are going to be $15 higher tomorrow. $20 gold is going to be $20, maybe $25 more. And that's just assuming we don't go up another 20 tomorrow. So 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're coming right back with the Half Empty Cup.